My name is Toby Middleton. I'm Senior Country Manager at the Marine Stewardship Council, and I'm here representing Project Inshore. This is an initiative in partnership with two other organisations to pre-assess against the MSC standard all English inshore fisheries to provide a baseline to understand their sustainability and to create a series of sustainability recommendations to offer a roadmap and economies of scale for those fisheries to collectively work together to improve their performance. We've been working with 450 fisheries that engaged in Project Inshore to help them with technical assistance and project management assistance to benefit from working collectively on understanding their individual and their communal sustainability challenges. The assessment that took place on the 450 fisheries did a real deep dive to understand the level of performance for each one of those fisheries across their stock status, their environmental impact and their management regime. So those independent assessments have provided a fantastic database of information for those fisheries to look at where they stand, whether others are potentially performing well and how they could replicate best practice. One of the key issues for the fisheries that were assessed was a lack of data, a lack of understanding about the ecological impact in particular of fishing effort in inshore waters. And so Project Inshore is going to provide a really good baseline to try and understand where those data gaps are, how to fill those data gaps, and how to provide a management regime that will better understand them in the long term moving forward, which will be great for the wider ecosystem of the oceans and the fisheries on which they depend. One of the best secondary outcomes of Project Inshore is that we're starting to see interest in other regions to replicate the model that we've developed in England and to take this national approach which delivers economies of scale in terms of the time, the finance, the technology, to really take an integrated approach at a wide geographical level to understand sustainable fisheries. And we're really looking forward to seeing some of those projects come to fruition. Markets have evolved hugely over the last 10-20 years as we've seen globalization supported by a digital revolution in access to information, and so there's a lot more scrutiny by consumers, by NGOs, by media into where and how our food is produced and how it's processed in terms of the supply chains, the provenance issue going around the world. And so I think that has underpinned a much stronger emphasis on the sustainability credentials of seafood as part of the license of doing business. And I don't necessarily see that going away. I think seafood sustainability, unlike, for example, plugging the hole in the ozone layer, doesn't have a finish line. Seafood is dynamic in wild environments. And now that we've identified this global issue of seafood sustainability, we are on a journey that's infinite in its structure, in that we need to look at long-term solutions to maintaining the sustainability of fisheries once we've improved best practice, which isn't so much daunting, but I think much more exciting in terms of the way in which markets operate, seafood is consumed, and the environments within which those fisheries exist. There's a real compelling truth around seafood that nobody wants to catch, sell, or eat the last fish. And actually, whilst that's maybe taking quite a negative perspective, actually that identifies a really positive opportunity to engage in the sustainable management of fisheries. The Seafood Champion Awards does a great service in identifying that sustainability and the environmental management of fisheries has a strong business case and is in everyone's interest.